Thanks for tuning in to Tapped In. If you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed on the mats, come find your direction in our DFM Coaching BJJ School community. Now, let's get started.
Welcome to Tapped In. My name is David Figueroa-Martinez, and today we're going to be discussing the inner voice as a coach. I think one of the biggest hurdles that we will come across is not our coaches, is not our enemies, our opponents, our training partners, probably not even necessarily life, and the issues we run across during, like from work, life episodes. I think one of the biggest hurdles for people in Jiu-Jitsu is how they speak to themselves. And it is the hardest thing to break. I can get students to understand techniques. I can get students to get surprised sometimes with their ability to understand something that maybe they didn't understand at one point. I am sometimes surprised by how quick a student that gets down on themselves will pick up a technique that they didn't think they would really get. I understand that we come to Jiu-Jitsu with a lot of baggage. Prior experience, parents, loved ones, people who maybe didn't talk great to us, people who maybe were overly critical. A lot of us come here with daddy issues or parent issues, which is completely human. But sometimes we are really, really critical of everything we do. You'd be surprised. I want you to think of the last couple conversations that you have with training partners or even yourself. Try to think back on how often you will hear someone talk negatively about their game, negatively about their body, negatively about their grasp on a technique or a position, and they just tend to like really downplay their abilities. Happens quite a bit. It's sometimes in a way that their biggest hurdle isn't learning the technique, isn't even their opponent. It's really their view of themselves and how they interact with their opponent and training partners. Try to think about the voice in your own head. When you get into a really bad position, are you focusing on the position and what's currently happening, or are you kicking yourself for a mistake you made? There was a point in my life where I was training early on, and something would happen, a sweep, a transition, I would give some kind of points up, and I would start like getting on myself a little bit. Oh, I can't believe I let that happen. I can't believe I got swept here. And in the process of talking down to myself, the position got worse and worse and worse. I didn't process the position for the facts. I processed the position for what I felt. I processed the position for what I was currently emotional about, opposed to, hey, this dude just passed my guard. I better get my frames in. I better start bridging, hip escaping, getting back to some kind of position quickly. That had to be trained in me. Anytime that I watch newer people, you will see a moment, even if they're not vocal about it. Well, they'll have a facial expression or the way their body will sort of give. And not that it relaxes, but there's like this moment of like the whole body just sort of shrinks a little bit when something bad happens. Those are all indications that you're not being great to you as a self-coach. You're going to have bad rounds. You're going to have moments when you're tired and things are not going to go well at all. You're going to have moments where your progress doesn't feel like it should be, and you're kicking yourself because you feel like you should be a certain way or at a certain position. There is no should, none. Your progress is specific to you and no one else's. So I want to get us to the point where we start understanding why this stuff matters, because it really dictates how we respond to things. If you could imagine like for my students or your relationship with your current coach, how would you feel or how would you respond if they discussed or talked to you the way you talk to yourself in your head? Would you accept it? Would it be nice? Would it be kind? Would it be beneficial? Would it inspire you? Would it allow you to grow? Like if your coach literally, when you made that mistake and he or she look at you and say, man, you fucked up. Can't believe you made that dumbass mistake. Would that encourage you? Would that create any lifelong bonds with you and your coach? Probably not. So why do we continually do it with ourselves and the one person that we're supposed to quote unquote love? Let's start training ourselves to kind of understand we are exactly where we're supposed to be. There are days where I get smashed. I got smashed, I think 2-3 weeks ago by a black belt at an open mat. Completely smashed. I got submitted today by one of my purple belts. We were playing around. I was talking my shit. He talked a little bit of his shit. I was feeling good. And I came up from a sweep, I think. And he latched on a guillotine. And I started thinking, I think I can get out of this. I don't think it's that bad. And I started to defend, and then it got really tight. And I couldn't get to where I wanted to get. And I was like, maybe I can gut this out. And then I was like, no, never mind. It's done. And I tapped. I didn't sit in the position and kind of like, I can't believe I did this. I'm supposed to be a black belt. Why would I let them do? None of that entered my mind. I've gotten to a point in my life where the training room is my experiment. It's my lab. And I'm going to do a lot of dumb shit sometimes. I'm going to experiment with some stuff that I don't normally do. They might be a step ahead of me in a position because it's something that they're a subject matter expert in. I might have had an off day. They may have just responded beautifully and I was just a hair late. And I just accept it. I accept that the positions aren't always going to go in my way. I accept that the positions aren't always going to be in my favor. Sometimes I'm going to get got. And I just accept it. There is no point in me bad-mouthing myself and further hurting me emotionally. I made a mistake. Mistakes are a good thing. So if they're a good thing, why are we bashing ourselves? You're going to get into the training room and your job is to be a laboratory technician. Your job is to see your game and how many different ways you can fail. Literally what you're supposed to be doing. And if we can accept that that's what I'm going to do, there's no need to bash myself. I fucked up. Like if you're doing this experiment, the experiment isn't necessarily all about you. There's a lot of external factors. I need to know what technique would work in this spot specifically. And when I fail, what did they do that put me in the failure category? Okay, so they got up before I did on the sweep. All right, so next time I sweep, I need to get up higher, faster. This time I got to the position, I got the sweep, I ended up in mount. Good. But I only held it for 10, 15, 20 seconds. Failure. Okay, so how do I hold the position better? And stick to these facts. Don't worry about what they make you feel. Don't worry about that you should be in a certain position, a certain level of skill. None of it fucking matters. None of us care. We just want you to develop. And in developing, you have to go through all the failures intentionally. You have to accept that they're just going to be part of your DNA. And those failures give you all these different indicators and results that you can start playing with. The problem is often that sometimes we view being blunt with ourselves as a form of almost taking accountability, I guess. Like, oh, I just want to be real with myself. And, oh, I suck in this position. when really I should be saying, I haven't spent enough time here. And sometimes I say that like jokingly. Oh yeah, I'm terrible at this. This isn't my area of expertise. But really, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that I suck as a human being at this position. It just means I haven't spent a whole lot of time here. I am not the person to ask about this question, even as a black belt. But I do have someone that can answer those questions a bit better than I can. So I'm going to challenge us to, when we catch ourselves speaking badly about ourselves internally, to start changing the verbiage. Am I good at triangles? No. I haven't spent a whole lot of time in that position to really focus and get better at it. But I do get to the position a lot, but I like to transition to omoplata. Maybe I have shorter legs. That's fine. Hey, I'm older. My cardio isn't quite where I'd like it to be. But what's the offshoot? I start understanding how to be a bit more economical. Every time there's a certain failure within us, like I don't have great long legs for triangles. I have great legs for omoplatas and kimuras and that style of play. When I go to the triangle position, I love to hit a kimura. I love to attack the shoulder with omoplata. It's great. I don't have long limbs in general, but my escapes are a lot cleaner because I don't have all the real estate in the legs. So all the things that I don't do well often have offshoots and positions and mirrored effects of things that I do really well. So you may not be fast, but you understand pressure and controls a little bit better. You might be small, but on the flip side, you're faster. You can respond faster. Your response times are faster to things. So there's always a plus and a minus to everything that we do. There's absolutely no need to speak negatively of ourselves. There's no need to downplay our game. There's no need to feel embarrassed about something that we do or don't do. They will end up, as time goes by, as assets to you, whether you recognize it or not. And it's a weird little thing. Like every body type is a plus. Every body type has a negative. And jiu-jitsu is one of those rare moments where I see it, and it's just interesting to watch. Someone who is tall and lanky may not necessarily like their body, but tall and lanky is fucking fantastic sometimes for guard play. And then there's the high calorie athlete who feels the same way about their own body. But pressure and weight distribution, huge asset. The games that you start developing, like, hey, I'm not great at spider, but I'm great at arm drags. I'm not great at this, but I'm great at that. Like, once you get to black belt, we all become these real subject matter experts at specific key moments and positions and games. And then we become like generalized practitioners and a bunch of other shit. But I don't view myself as, oh, I suck at this. It just isn't, it hasn't been something I've developed enough to understand it fully. And that's all it is. And if we could get to the point where we just sort of accept the positions that we're in, the skill level that we're at, embrace it, don't put emotions behind it, don't badmouth ourselves, and just say, this just isn't something I've developed yet. Doesn't mean I'm bad. I just haven't developed the skill set and the timing yet. Right now, I'm working on octopus guard. I had not done octopus guard prior to 2 or 3 weeks ago. I bought a Edward Dellis instructional, started following that, started following a few videos on YouTube, started developing it, started asking questions. I struggled to get to the octopus position and realized after talking to some people, it was because I was trying to force it opposed to something that they were giving me. So then I started developing ways to entice the position. And now I'm getting there a lot more. And again, it's right up there with, it's not that I suck at the position. It's that I didn't spend enough time there. So there's no use in me bad-mouthing myself about anything jiu-jitsu related or life related, to be honest with you. It just takes time to develop. No one is born with any of these skill sets. Some of us might be a little bit more athletic than others, but as you've seen, the nerdiest of the nerds succeeds in jiu-jitsu, along with the most athletic of the people. Like, it is just about you not destroying yourself mentally and just applying that same energy to understanding whatever it is that we're understanding. And understanding that, and again, I know I sound like a broken record, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. There is no, I should be here, I should be beating these people, I should be at this other belt. You're exactly where you should be. Accept it, love it, embrace it. And at the end of class, one of my greatest skill sets for me specifically, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, my brain works in a very unique way. It is very factual, and it doesn't get super emotional about a lot of things. So when I go home, even when I was coming up through the ranks, when I went home, I did not go home emotional and upset with myself. I went home very fact-based. I had fun today. I got submitted 4 times by such and such and such and such. I had fun. I went home. I didn't go home kicking myself. I didn't go home bad-mouthing myself. I didn't feel like today was a failure. It was just part of the process. I had fun at this game I like playing in the pajamas, in no-gi, and I'll be right back at it tomorrow. If you can simplify your thought process to literally that, a lot of the stresses of jiu-jitsu go away. I know it's difficult, but if you can just put it into practice, slow down the negative thoughts, slow down the name calling or that negative voice in your head, and just try to minimize it for now. And as you get more practice with it, block it out completely and just focus on what you need to be doing in the moment and not what you could have done. I'm hoping this helps. If you have any questions or perhaps need some more guidance or coaching on the fact, please hit me up, dfm.2099 on Instagram or Threads. We also have a free school community if you'd like to join that. Until next time, thank you so much.